Once there was a king and a queen who lived in a huge castle. They ruled over their country in a fair way, but beneath their kindness was a sadness that they could never get over.
I know it's been 15 years, but it still breaks my heart that our daughter was kidnapped as a baby.
I know. She was our little angel. I would do anything to find her.
One day, my dearest, I still have hope.
In a small village not far from the castle was a young girl named Jane. She was forced to work hard every day by her adoptive parents. Unlike most adoptive parents, they didn't love Jane. They treated her like a slave and never allowed her to have any fun. As she sat scrubbing the walls to their house, she spoke to herself.
I know I was adopted when I was young, but surely they adopted me to be more than just a slave.
Her adoptive parents were named Sandy and Chris. They arrived home just as she was about to put away her bucket and brush. Why isn't this wall clean yet? You've been scrubbing it for over 5 hours. It really is true what I say. You're just a useless scrubber. I want to see my face in that wall when I come back, or you're not being fed. With the angry threat still hanging in the air, Sandy left the room and went upstairs to her bedroom.
Why is nothing I ever do good enough?
It's all your own fault. Sandy is the most lovely person in the world. You must have done something to upset her. Otherwise, she wouldn't be acting like that. Remember that the next time you start complaining. She's perfect and you're not. So if she's complaining, you must have done something wrong.
With that small speech, Chris left to join Sandy in the bedroom.
I wish I had somewhere else to go. I'd leave in an instant. But if I leave here, I have no money, no food, and nowhere to live. I'm stuck here, scrubbing walls and eating pumpkin without any spice.
With a flash, a witch appeared right next to Jane. At first, Jane was scared, but she didn't need to worry. Not all witches are evil, and this witch most definitely was one of the good ones. Oh, young Jane, don't you know you shouldn't wish on an empty stomach? There are so many more wishes you could have made than that one. Better wishes, perhaps, but still, I can make that wish come true if you like.
What? Who are you? Wishes? I was just talking to myself, that's all. I didn't really make a wish. Not a proper one, anyway.
Well, it sounded like a wish to me, and I'm here to grant it. I'm a good witch. There are a few of us around, you know. All I need is some of your adoptive mother's hair, and I can find you somewhere else you could live.
I wish my parents were alive. I would have wished to go and live with them.
Oh, sweetheart, your parents are alive. You should have learned that these two are nothing but dirty liars. If you can get me the hair, I can get you out of these dirty clothes and into some nice new ones with your parents.
My parents are alive. Who are they?
Get me the hair and you'll find out everything. Almost as quickly as she had arrived, the good witch vanished into thin air. Jane sat down and started to think about what she had been told.
Well, Sandy never washes her hair, and she definitely never brushes it. So I need to find a way to get some hair off her head. Oh, I hope my parents are happy to see me. I wish I knew what happened that led to me ending up here.
Just as there are good witches, there are also evil witches. Sandy and Chris waited until Jane was busy scrubbing the walls and they sneaked out of the house. They made their way up a twisted path surrounded by dead trees to the hut of an evil old witch.
Tonight you will have what you desire. As long as you can keep her away from her real parents, then the spell will work. They will die and you will be able to take the throne as her legal parents.
That is easy. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's splitting up families. Isn't that right, Chrissy?
Yes, dear. You're good at everything.
It's time to get back home. She better have those walls scrubbed or I'll lock her in the cellar again. I might just do that anyway. She definitely won't be able to get out to find her parents then.
Don't forget your part of the bargain. Once you have what you want, I want the girl's soul. You gave me the lock of her hair. That is all I need to take it away from her.
You'll get her soul. I promise you, you'll have a soul. By the time Sandy and Chris have managed to get home, it is well into the afternoon. They enter the house and Jane is still scrubbing the walls. Sandy looks at the walls, which are as spotless as can be. Those walls are disgusting. What have you been doing while we've been gone? I can barely see myself in them.
Well, they are sandstone, so you should be able to see yourself clearly.
What did you say to me? That's it. For your cheek, you're getting locked in the cellar. Chris, open the door. Sandy and Jane begin to struggle as Sandy tries to push Jane through the door to the cellar. Jane grabs Sandy's hair as she is pushed and pulls as hard as she can to get some hair, just like the witch had told her. Ah! She pulled out some of my hair! Despite pulling out some of Sandy's hair, Jane is still pushed into the cellar. Sandy shuts the door and locks it shut. Get in there. Chris, check my head. I think she pulled out a big bit. It really hurt.
Don't worry about it. Once you're the queen, the crown will cover your bald spot perfectly.
Ah, yes, that's a good point. Wait, bald spot? What do you mean, bald spot? While all of this is going on, the king and queen are sat in their throne room wondering what they can do to get their long-lost daughter back.
I don't know what to do, my darling. She would look so much different now to when we last saw her. She'll almost be a grown woman. How would we recognize her?
Don't you remember? She had the birthmark on her arm that looked just like a horse. If we can find a young girl with that birthmark, then we will know it's our daughter.
But where would we start? I can't think of anywhere she might be.
The good witch appears. I know where your daughter is, your majesties. You have to move quickly, though. I don't have time to explain.
What do we need to do?
Just get to the village. I'll meet you there and take care of the rest. Jane is sat in the cellar, holding the clump of hair tightly. She talks to herself to try and help her get through being locked in the cellar on her own.
I got the hair like she said. What does she even want it for? She is a witch. Maybe she's going to eat it.
With another flash, the good witch appears at the mention of her own name. She looks down at Jane and smiles. No, dear, I'm not going to eat it. I find hair just a little bit too chewy. I need that hair to replace the clump of your hair that your adoptive parents gave to my sister.
Your sister?
My sister. She's not as nice as I am. She's going to use that clump of hair to trap your soul.
But why? What did I ever do to anyone?
You were born into the royal family, and that's what you did. I know what you're thinking. How very dare you? But we can't choose which family we're born into, dearie.
Hold on. I'm a part of the royal family.
Well, not yet, my love. You used to be. Then you were kidnapped by these two. Now you're part of their family. I'm going to try and fix things, but my sister is no fool. It won't be easy.
So what do I need to do?
Wait here, and when you hear a strange man's voice, shout as loud as you can.
That's it?
Well, unless you have a stove down here to make me some soup, there's not much else you can do.
I'll wait then.
That would be for the best.
You know, she hasn't done that bad a job of scrubbing these walls.
I know that. I just wanted an excuse to keep her out of the way. We need to make sure she doesn't escape. If she escapes, there is a chance she might get back to her real parents.
Oh, come on. After all this time, they'd never know what she even looked like. And anyway, they'd never be seen dead in this part of the village.
The witch said they'll be seen dead tonight wherever they are. All we need to do is make sure she stays away from them. The only way to guarantee that happens is if we keep her locked up.
But who's going to cook our dinner?
I suppose I'll have to do it. Just this once, though. You know what happens when I have to do work.
Yeah, my head comes out in bumps and bruises.
Outside in the village, the king and queen were waiting for the good witch to arrive to tell them what to do next. As she almost always does, she arrived in a dramatic fashion. She always said, if you can't arrive with a bang, what's the point arriving at all?
We've done as you ask. Where is our daughter?
You've waited 15 years, Your Majesty. Please have some patience for the last few hours.
Fair enough. What do we need to do next?
You must... Before the good witch could even get her words out, she was interrupted by the evil witch. What are you doing, sister? You know this is my spell that you are interfering with. Is that not the wrong choice for you to make? You know I don't usually interfere in your dealings. It's never good for anyone if we were to cross each other. But taking the girl's soul when she has not had any dealings with you is not how we do business. You know that. It was promised to me by her parents. They are responsible for her and they made the decision. I have a replacement. You can accept my replacement or we can end things in another way. I see. You think you could defeat me? I don't think. I know, dear sister. Accept my replacement or leave with nothing. Very well. I will accept your replacement. The rest of the spell does not need to be carried out. The girl's parents are to remain alive. I understand. The good witch moved forward and handed the clump of hair to the evil witch. The evil witch looked down at the hair, examined it, and when she was satisfied, she left with a flash. She felt the same as her sister. When you arrive or leave, always do it in the most dramatic way possible.
What was that all about?
Families. You know how they are. We'll be friends again next Halloween. Now that's sorted, it's time to get you to your daughter. Wait, was she going to kill us? You don't want to know. The king, queen, and good witch smashed through the front door to Sandy and Chris's house. They looked around in shock before Sandy began to scream. Who are you? Get out of my house. Not going to happen, my lovely. Where's the girl?
Wait, hold on. Is that the king and queen?
Yes, it is. Now what have you done with our daughter?
It was her idea. I just did as I was told.
What? How dare you tell such awful lies?
Both of you be quiet and tell us where she is.
Almost as soon as the king spoke, Jane began screaming from her cellar prison. Help me! I'm locked in the cellar! Are you going to open it? Or am I going to make it open? Sandy grudgingly moved to the cellar door and unlocked it.
Cordelia?
My name is Cordelia. Mum? Dad? Am I really a princess?
No, you're plain Jane and you always will be. You two are going to be locked in the dungeon, together. I can't think of a worse punishment than having to spend the rest of my life with one of you two.
How do we know it's her?
Check her arm. The king pulled back her sleeve and they all looked at her arm in anticipation. See? That's her birthmark. That's our daughter.
Oh, good witch, thank you so much. You gave me back to my family.
It's no problem, dear. I'm the good one, remember?
Cordelia, let's get you home and out of those dirty rags. From now on, you'll only wear the finest gowns and eat the finest foods. We have a lot of time to make up.
We really do.